Well, good evening, NBA and Lakers fans, and welcome into the Lakers 365 Network, your 24/7 365 comprehensive home of the NBA and your 16-time NBA champion LA Lakers. Good evening, Lakers Nation, and welcome into tonight's post-game show here for October 12th, 2014, after the Lakers once again get garbage trucked tonight by the Golden State Warriors to clean sweep the preseason series by the final score of the night of 116-75. Hello again, everybody, alongside Chris Woodmansey via Apple's FaceTime from the Anaheim Studios up in Anaheim, California. Callum McClure joining you folks here from Studio 171 in San Diego. Wow, Chris. Wow. So I'd say about this game, man, just not the sharpest of games for the Lakers tonight, man. The box score can pretty much tell everyone how bad the game was, man. Other than that, how's the Sunday afternoon, night, or Sunday even in general, I should say?
Just very great. Just what just happened just now on the website, what I just won.
And I don't think anyone really cares. So get your mind off that, dude, and get on track here. But with that, folks, the Lakers tonight. Oh boy, pretty rough night at the office tonight for the Lakers this evening. In the second game against the Warriors in as many days, again, the Warriors beat them pretty good at Staples Center back on Thursday night. And then on Sunday, pretty much where they left off, basically, the Warriors tonight clubbed the Lakers at the Citizens Business Bank Arena in Ontario, California. Final score tonight, Golden State 116, Lakers 75. Game basically over after 12 minutes of basketball where the Warriors led 39-13. The Lakers could not get started on offense tonight and were ice cold in the first quarter, and it never really got better from there for LA in the entire game. For the Warriors, the final box score tonight, Harrison Barnes, 8 points, David Lee, 14, Andrew Bogut, 3 points, Klay Thompson, 16, and Stephen Curry, 25 points in the contest. And the starters for the Lakers this evening, the full box score here for the Lakers, Wesley Johnson, 4, Carlos Boozer, 10, Jordan Hill had 8, Kobe Bryant had 6, and Steve Nash with the prettiest assist, probably the prettiest assist of his whole career that resulted in a missed slam dunk, but probably the best one of his whole career. Only had 3 tonight off the bench. Robert Sacre, Wayne Ellington, 12 each. Julius Randle, 4. Roscoe Smith had 1. And Ronnie Price, 9 and 34 minutes played. And Jeremy Tyler, 6 points tonight. Not playing for the Lakers tonight was Jordan Clarkson, left calf strain. Ed Davis and Jeremy Lin, coach's decisions. Xavier Henry still with his back spasms. And, of course, Ryan Kelly with that moderate strain of his left hamstring. And Nick Young's RCL ligament tear in his right thumb. Well, Chris, pretty much, man, game was cut and dry after quarter one, man. The Warriors came out and, as I said, man, pretty much left off where they basically left off on Thursday night back at Staples Center, Chris, and the Lakers never got in the flow of the contest, man. Pretty rough night at the office, Chris. What do you think, though, went wrong for the Lakers in tonight's game versus Golden State?
Just looked like the Lakers weren't like the Lakers today. Just look like no defense, not on the three-point line. Like we said in the last time, the last game against the Warriors, like just didn't guard the three-point line and just didn't look like the Lakers.
Chris, not only that, man, the injury bug continues to wear it to basically, fly around El Segundo, man. Jeremy Lin goes down, sprained ankle in practice yesterday. So it's like, how much more can the Lakers take as far as injuries goes, Chris? You're already down Young. You're down Kelly and Henry. Now, Chris, you're down, and now you're down Lin, Chris. That's 4 Lakers that are already injured through 3 games of preseason action, Chris. And honestly, man, I hope, and I think everyone, Chris, hopes that this gets better ASAP because the last 2 games, Chris, are not the Lakers that we are sort of accustomed to seeing, Chris. I mean, that first game in San Diego, not because it was down here, Chris, but that was a combined total team effort, man. With the past 2 games, it looked like we were watching last year all over again, basically. Just sloppy play, missing shots, turnovers, bad, not being efficient. Where the night, Chris, it was basically last year times 20. I mean, there was a technical foul on Ronnie Price for chucking the shoe at Andre Iguodala trying to stop the play after he lost his shoe and turned the ball over. There was, many missed shots. Just the Lakers, Chris, never got in rhythm tonight, man, and it was just a very, very all-around bad performance. I think that Byron Scott and the coach staff, Chris, is not going to be happy about when they go back to work tomorrow or back on Tuesday when they have tomorrow off, perhaps, and Chris, I mean, Chris, a lot of things went wrong though tonight for the Lakers. The Lakers did not make a single three-pointer in tonight's game. Nor does it look like they made three attempts and failed to hit one of them. Where Chris, as we know, the Warriors 13 of 33 from behind the arc tonight, Chris, and also, man, the turning point as well, Chris, tonight. 2 4-point plays in one quarter, man, and that was basically when the Lakers were just getting completely mauled in the first quarter, man. That is what cannot happen, man, is, for one deal, man, you know that the Warriors are going to be living and dying by the three-point ball, Chris. You can't give them, a three-point basket plus an and one shot afterwards, Chris. Do you think, though, man, that with what we know about the Warriors' three-point shooting, Chris, is that what basically killed the Lakers in both games, is that three-point shooting from both Thompson and Curry and the all-around three-point shooting of this Warriors ball club right now?
Yeah, I think that's why the last two games, the Lakers got destroyed by the three-point line.
And again, Chris, the first quarter basically speaks volumes, folks. The final line score in this contest, pretty bad tonight there from the Inland Empire tonight. The final line score for the Warriors, 39-24, 37-16 across the game. For 116 for the Lake Show, 13-23, 24-15, game total of 75. And, Chris, there was one tech assigned to the contest, we know, man. But, again, Chris, Ronnie Price inadvertently losing the shoe and then getting a bit frustrated with himself, throws the shoe towards Andre Iguodala, resulting in the technical foul, Chris. Okay, I know it's one deal, Chris, that we see technical fouls with a certain player in the WNBA and our Sparks Network, Chris. But is this the oddest technical foul you've seen probably in your entire time watching pro basketball or even watching basketball in your entire life here?
Yeah, I think that's a hilarious foul.
I think it's probably one of the more funniest ones I've seen. I mean, it's Chris. It's not like on the caliber of like Bob Knight throwing chairs across the court or Tim Hardaway Sr. chucking a television monitor when he was playing with the Timberwolves in Seattle. This was probably the best one I've seen in quite some time. So, again, Ronnie Price charged with the lone technical foul in tonight's game at the 8:50 mark of the second quarter for, again, heaving the shoe at Andre Iguodala following a turnover in the game. The biggest lead, Chris, Hoofa. Lakers never led, Chris, and they were down by as many as 41. Wow. No lead changes one time all night, but teams were tied. The time of the game tonight, folks, 2 hours and 11 minutes. The refereeing crew tonight, Leroy Richardson, Bill Spooner, and Derek Richardson. And Chris, not very good, man. Total attendance tonight at the SBBA in Ontario, 7,842. Again, time of the game, 2 hours and 11 minutes. Again, the Lakers dominated again by the Warriors by the final line score of 116-75. And again, the Lakers never led, and they trailed by as many as 41 points in the game tonight. Now, Chris, as we put this game behind us, man, as we get ready to wrap things up here, too, on a very, very abbreviated postgame show here, again, we kind of came on here a bit late because we were taking care of a few things here at both studios. But also, folks, too, for postgame shows, we'll be here for about 15 minutes to about half an hour most times here on the network. Now, Chris, looking ahead to the next Lakers game, which will be back on Thursday, October 16th, at Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Fortunately, Chris will not be there, folks, as there's a few things that's keeping him from going to that contest on Thursday. But, Chris, the Lakers, I think, need tomorrow off to sort of get their heads back and then go out there and grind on Tuesday and Wednesday and have a good, solid practice and not get anyone injured. And then Thursday, set the tone and pace for this game, Chris, because, as we know, man, you cannot afford to start games, NBA or WNBA, Chris. You can't afford to start games behind by double-digit points in the first quarter, Chris. And that's what really, Chris, I believe has doomed the Lakers the past two games, has been those substantial deficits they faced in the first part of the game, Chris. What is your recipe for success for the Lakers to win this game on Thursday, knowing again, man, that they've been basically killed in quarter one and can't rally back like another purple and gold team we talk about quite often, too, on a different network here on YouTube? What is the key to the game on Thursday night against the Jazz in Anaheim?
Just don't get buried in double-digit leads in the first start of the game, in the first quarter. Just go out and practice, work really hard, and then come out Thursday and off to a great start.
Chris, I think the MO right now should just be get ahead and stay ahead. I think that's the only key to success right now for the Lakers is you got to get ahead and you got to stay ahead, Chris. And also, man, Chris, with Utah, though, man, this is a year of transition. They did blow out their head coach last year. They did bring in Quinn Snyder for the season this year, Chris, and the Jazz had a very, very tremendously horrible season last year. Started the season, I want to say like 0-10 or 0-12 last year, man. And they have really, Chris, not been right for quite some time, Chris. And I think that, not saying that the glory days are gone, Chris, but I think the glory days, though, with this Jazz franchise, I want to say, had to have been when it was John Stockton and Karl Malone, Chris, because the Jazz have not been the same team since the late 90s, Chris. Now, again, yeah, a few appearances in the playoffs, Chris, here and there, but again, man, have not been really successful the past few seasons, Chris. And I think, though, that with the Lakers and Jazz sort of being in the same sort of predicament that they've been in with, being down in the, being buried down below in the standings for the past few years, Chris, or at least the past few seasons, I should say. Is this a game that the Lakers win on Thursday night, or what do you think is the ending result here for this game on Thursday in at the Pond up there at Honda Center?
I think the Lakers might come out on Thursday, losing the past two games against the Warriors, like by a lot. I think they might come out Thursday with a great start and probably win on Thursday night.
Yeah, man, I think the Lakers are destined to have some sort of big flood rush, just a big, that one big breakout quarter, Chris. And I think, Chris, that has to be the opening frame because, Chris, we know very well with the Sparks, man, that was their problem all WNBA season is they would get down by a lot early and would try to rally back and would never get the chance to do so, Chris. The Lakers cannot afford to do the same sort of stuff, man, like their sisters have done or did this past year, man, is don't get behind by 10 and try to win a ball game when you're down by 10 so late in the ball game. For once, Chris, be that team that, says, hey, we're here to play too. We're setting the pace tonight, not you. We're setting the tone and pace of this game tonight, not the opposing team, Chris. And I think, though, man, that Byron Scott believes, though, there are things to work out, though, as well. I mean, the bench play, I think, has been okay for a bit. I mean, it worked well last week in San Diego. A couple of bad nights in LA and in Ontario, Chris. But again, man, this is the point in time, Chris, where the Lakers, kind of man up and say, look, we're playing this game just as much as Utah is. We're going to come out here tonight. We're setting the pace. We're going to have the big lead. We're going to let them chase us all night. None of this, dig a ditch and then try to come back down by 30 or down by 40 and try to make a comeback late in the game, Chris. You come out firing. You set the tone on Thursday. You get yourself a much needed win. Now, again, folks, the Lakers will play the Jazz again. Like they did with the Warriors, they'll play like they play with the Warriors. They will play the Jazz 2 straight games on the 16th and 19th. They'll play the game in Anaheim, California on Thursday. Then on Sunday the 19th, we'll be back at Staples Center at 6:30 p.m. The remaining games, folks, Utah twice, Phoenix, Portland, and Sacramento before the tip-off of the season on October 28th versus the Houston Rockets. So, Chris, not much else to get to here tonight on the program. Again, the Lakers tonight, oh boy, completely walloped by the Warriors tonight in a pretty ugly ball game. 116-75 from the Citizens Business Bank Arena in Ontario, California. Again, the Warriors win the night 116-75 over the Lake Show. Now, Chris, as we look ahead, man, towards Thursday night, now, again, folks, we will not be back here on the network again until Thursday, again, where we will only have post-game coverage of the Lakers for right now until the season does start. We'll work in some more programming later on in the season. But again, Chris, as you get ready to wrap up here, Chris, your last thoughts of the night's game and your thoughts about Thursday's game with the Jazz in your hometown at the Pond.
Didn't look like Lakers tonight. Just didn't guard the three-point line like we said last game, and just have a tone of don't get ahead early and just have time to start the momentum.
3 words. It's only preseason. There you go, folks. So, folks, on October 12th, 2014, game numero dos of the NBA preseason from the Citizens Business Bank Arena in the Inland Empire of Ontario, California. The Golden State Warriors improved to 3-0 in the preseason, and they beat the Lakers 116-75. We'll see you folks back here on Thursday night after the Lakers take on the Jazz from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Until Thursday night, folks, have a safe night. Drive home safely. Thank you all for coming, and good night now. This has been the Lakers 365 Network. We are Lakers, we are the NBA, and we are Los Angeles. We'll see you folks back here on Thursday night for Chris Mancy in Anaheim. Cal McClure again, San Diego signing off, and see you folks back here Thursday night following the Lakers and Jazz game right back here on the Lakers 365 Network. See you folks then. Bye-bye.